we're going to be talking about, since it's in the Halloween spirit, we have talking about witches tonight. And witches are in the Bible. They say you should don't suffer a witch to live, and stuff like this. But, this is 2012. Witches are not real. However, people are out there still killing people because they think they're a witch. Because they think that, whatever that's going to happen to them because something bad happens to them. Oh, it's little Jessie's fault because she's a witch. Really? There's actually been, in 2012, there's been several people who have been killed because they thought that these children were witches. And one happened in Europe just recently. The brothers and sister or whatever, I forget the exact story. Here it is. Relatives suspected a British teenager of practicing witchcraft and beat him and drowned him. And back in Christmas Day, that was 2010. But the kid, they beat the hell out of him so bad that when they put him in a bathtub full of water, the kid was so worn from being beaten, he couldn't even hold his head up. And he ended up drowning on top of it. So, the thing is, this is still the 21st century, and people are still going back to the Bible about witches. The Bible is an evil book. The stuff in this thing is fiction. Take it with a grain of salt, a big grain of salt, because there is nothing in this Bible that is worth. I don't think is worth it, especially killing people because you think they're a fucking witch. And we're gonna start the time first, and we're gonna go with Crystal here. And Crystal, and you have your time starts now.
First of all, I would like to clear the record as I am not a witch.
You're not a witch? Oh,
no,
well, hell.
Regardless of your previous thoughts of me. It's just interesting because this stuff did originate in Europe back in the 16th and the 17th centuries, and tens of thousands of people were executed for witchcraft. Religion being a part of the reason, and pure politics being the other one. The more wealthy people being on the port side, say, of Salem, and the less wealthy being on the farming side. And it was more of a battle of Catholicism against Protestantism. So you really can't just take this all back to the Bible. That being said, there are good things in the Bible too, Packard, and it does talk about being nice things too. Again, with a grain of salt.
They talk about nice things in comic books too, but we don't.
Well, sure, but it is, I think, a interpretation, and that you can get out of it what you want to get out of it. If you have an evil mind, you can read that and take evil things out of that. Back at that point in time, we knew very little about medicine. To them, that looked like something of the devil, and they were going to get rid of the people that they thought that the devil was making a pact with. So, I think that's all I got to really say. Is my time up yet?
No, you got 20. You got 20 seconds.
Oh.
So how much was your last phone bill, Crystal?
It wasn't in the quads.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, though, I mean, they're still doing this today. That's the problem here. That's not. They're saying that the even though back then they did. You know what? Hang on. We'll get back to that in a second.
Okay.
And time is up. Actually, I was gonna play a buzzer sound, but you stopped long before the buzzer. Joe,
play the buzzer sound anyway.
We'll do it. No, it's all right. Joe, your take.
On witchcraft, yeah. You had mentioned the passage from the Bible, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." That's Exodus 22:18.
Yep.
And it's a very famous passage because it was used as the cornerstone of a lot of witch trials and during the Inquisitions.
Yes.
Prior to the Christian Church or the Catholic Church centralizing their power, pagan rituals took place in the European countryside pretty regular. Like everybody believed in these little goblins or imps or whatever, and they practiced these different local customs. But when the church started centralizing their power, that's when they started kind of reining in and using that passage as their justification for what they were doing. Like Crystal said, it had been happening in Europe for a while, but it came to America in 1692 in Salem, Massachusetts, we had the Salem witch trials, which were pretty famous. About 10 months in Massachusetts, the trials went on for. It was in a Puritan colony where there was no separation of church and state, which is very, very important. And what they did was they started trying people and executing many of them, and sometimes jailing them on charges of witchcraft. And it's really unfortunate because even at the time, the people involved later apologized, and the governor dissolved the court, and people kind of felt bad about it. There was like this animosity of the people in Massachusetts towards what they had done. They kind of realized, like, ooh, we kind of fucked up and like killed all these people, and it's really horrible. It's a tragic moment in American history, and it's good to look back and remember it, because it's what happens when you don't separate church and state.
That's our new timer. That's our new timer. It's still me trying to break in. That's it. But a little addition there. But yeah, no, I just want to address something Crystal said there, that even though this took place back when they wrote this thing, it's not relevant today, because we know witches are not real. And someone said in the chat room there, the people who call Dawkins Dog said people who call themselves witches, do ceremonies, etc. Obviously, there's no way to the veracity of their beliefs other than the religion, but they do exist. Yeah, people believe that they're witches. I can believe I'm a ham sandwich. Does it make me a ham sandwich? No, it does not make me a ham sandwich. Then these people who are out there,
well, if you're covered in mustard and have a piece of Jewish rye on you, I'm gonna call you a ham sandwich.
Well, if I was being eaten by a gigantic alien that I paid $15 quadrillion to call, and then I would be a sandwich for somebody.